welcome to the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Dekker Team. And I'm Ken Dekker.
And this is Candace Dekker, St. Louis.
Awesome! It's so great to do a show with my daughter.
Thanks.
And today we are doing 5 ways to make your house stand out if you're doing an open house, right? Because you don't necessarily want your home to stand out if you weren't marketing it to sell it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are we going to do?
Well, first off, open houses are a great way to gain exposure and entice potential buyers that are prospecting it or just starting to think about owning a home or switching houses. So it also provides less pressure to a buyer walking through than having to call the agent and book a solo appointment.
Okay, so they're probably a little less qualified, maybe a little less motivated. Not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
And yet it's a lower barrier, is what you're saying, to them coming to see a property.
Yeah, versus calling an agent off the side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else does it give?
It gives more flexibility and less scheduling for a prospect buyer. If they're busy on a Saturday or Sunday doing activities with the kids or church, they can do their best to hit it within a 2-hour window rather than going for an exact time appointment.
Great.
Yeah.
And what else does it do for the buyers?
Well, for both actually the buyers and the sellers, it gives them an understanding of the market and the perception of their house versus other houses.
Okay, so sometimes people go through an open house, is what I hear you saying, that they're going through with the purpose of figuring out what they can sell their house for.
Yeah, they can, for sure, and they can understand what the market will bear in their price range, deciding whether or not the move is for them.
So it's kind of a fact-gathering decision.
Yeah, and for a seller who's hosting the open house or having their agent host the open house on their behalf, it gives them some feedback from buyers that are driving by or scheduled to go. Yeah.
Now I've found also that the odd time when we've been doing an open house, someone goes through an open house, or I get a phone call from one of my clients that had no intention of selling.
Yeah.
They popped through an open house just on a whim because they were driving down the street, saw a sign, said, hey, we got an extra half an hour, let's pull in here. They go in and they fall in love with the house.
Yes.
It does happen.
It does happen.
Not even an inkling of moving.
Right.
And then they decide, we're moving.
Yeah. Or it opens that possibility that they weren't having the discussion, they were just driving by and got intrigued. And then once they were there, they're like, yeah, maybe a move is
in the cards.
In the cards for us now. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
So great. So 5 ways to make a great impression if you're hosting an open house.
Yes.
Right?
If you're the seller.
So this would be good for people that maybe are attempting to sell by themselves or have a real estate agent or want to hire the Dekker Team, because we utilize a lot of these strategies when we're doing an open house, case by case, depending on what we want to put in play, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. So the number 1 is to make that first impression. And that's before they even enter the home, usually.
Okay.
It's the drive-by, it's the pulling in the driveway, it's what they see on the exterior.
Okay. So we want to do some exterior work, like seal the laneway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fix potholes or oil marks or gas leaks or whatever's damaged your driveway.
Yeah.
Great time to fix it up.
Or if it's a gravel driveway and there's some weeds that are coming up, to get rid of those and eliminate them and, really edge the end of the driveway with a shovel and make it clean lines.
Okay. Create a good laneway. All right. And what else?
Gardens is a huge one. Just keeping them fresh and weeded and looking like low maintenance.
Okay, and this time of year too, I think there's the trimming or removal of dead material, right? Trimming the bushes or removing the dead things on the perennial flowers.
Absolutely.
Clean up your gardens that way. Maybe put out some fall mums that can handle the frost and
Yes.
everything that way.
And as well as raking the leaves and helping it stand out compared to the other homes.
Right. And even if it's got snow on it,
Yeah.
clean the laneway well, clean the walkway well,
Yes.
salt it so it's not dangerous for people to fall.
Absolutely. Because we've all fallen on a driveway before showing a house. Yep.
It's good for liability as well as it shows care and concern for your property, right? Well maintained.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the airplanes. They found that if they had coffee stains on their seats, people felt that their planes weren't safe. Because if they weren't maintaining the inside of the plane, they weren't maintaining their engines.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a good perception. Same with a house, a buyer coming through. If the, let's say, deck isn't stained or the things that are obvious to the naked eye, they also start wondering about the furnace maintenance and the other things the seller is doing.
Other things they're letting go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So the front entrance, because you only get it one chance to make a great first impression, right? So
That's right.
the front door, they're usually there for a little while, knocking or taking their shoes off or whatever. Now I know our little cheat notes say free of shoes. That would be homeowner shoes.
That's right.
Hopefully there's shoes sitting there of the people that are walking through the open house.
Yes.
Because it is good etiquette to take your shoes off.
Absolutely.
If you're
Absolutely. I've entered a home before going through a showing and the homeowner's shoes and kids' shoes are all there. And so we're tiptoeing through the shoes to take off our shoes. And that makes it a little less inviting.
Yeah, and if they don't have teenagers, quite often those shoes are not smelling the nicest.
That's true.
And that's not necessarily for smell you want people to take in when they walk in is sweaty sneakers.
That's right. And number 2, nice segue, is about the house smelling nice.
Okay.
That's a great way to get a first impression of an open house.
So how do we make a house smell nice without making it overkill where people walk in and go, oh, they're hiding something?
Absolutely. So I would say to stay away from a lot of chemical smells, whether it be Febreze or scents, a lot of different types of smells as well, like maybe a whole bunch of different candles, scented candles. If you're going to do a scented candle, stick with a neutral, maybe vanilla throughout, rather than cranberry spice, vanilla.
Okay.
Different things.
And candles are a little scary to leave on when you're not in the house, right? During an open house would be okay.
Yes.
And the other thing we got to watch for is sometimes the artificial smells in the air fresheners, actually people have allergic reactions to them. Even the scents in candles sometimes.
Yes.
So I find crack your windows a little bit, even if it's in the summer and you need to have air conditioning running, or it's in the winter and you have to have heat running. If you have your windows cracked a little bit, or if you've got a HVAC system that changes the air in the house, put that on high. Get the fresh air coming into your home. Sometimes even opening up your house for a couple hours, even put your winter jacket on, open up the house for a couple hours, and then close it back up and turn the heat on can really freshen the smell of a house.
Because a lot of us have a smell to our house and we are not aware of it while we're living in the house, but often when we go see other people's houses, we can smell their house.
Yeah, it's your type of cooking or scents or the perfumes you wear or body smells. All kinds of things affect the smell of a home. Yeah. And Febreze is a neat product, but I believe there's an unscented one, which would be, because Febreze actually will kill some odors.
That's right.
So, but I'd go unscented.
Yes, for sure. And so a nice natural smell, which I would advise my sellers to do a natural home cooked kind of smell. Something.
So salmon or something?
No, not salmon.
No. Well, that's natural.
Not bacon. Not more
bacon
like
either.
More
Everybody
like,
loves bacon.
But they'd want their eggs and bacon for the meal. No, more like home cooking as far as baked goods. So
Okay.
apple pie, muffins,
Mm-hmm.
cookies, even a nice trick. If you're not willing to do the fresh baked goods for your open house before you leave, because there may be some other stresses of cleaning up the house.
Really?
Yeah,
But couldn't you get like Pillsbury Doughboy cookies or something and
you
just slice
could.
them up and throw them in the oven? That would be fast.
That would be
And you
fast
could
and
leave them
effective.
out for the guests.
Yeah,
Make them feel
absolutely.
welcome.
Absolutely. And if you don't have Pillsbury Doughboy on hand, one of the nice smells you can do and not leave something for them to eat is white bread in the toaster. You put a few slices down,
me.
and it creates a nice smell in the kitchen.
Really?
Yeah.
Not too long though.
Not too long, or you'll have burnt toast. But
It's a fine line.
it is a fine line, and the one that is
And you
my
could eat it on the way home, on the way out, right?
That's right.
There you
That's
go.
right. My favorite is a simmering pot of hot water with cinnamon sticks in it,
Oh, okay.
and it leaves a nice aroma.
So you just put that in a pot and turn it on the stove, kind of
On
thing?
low, yeah,
On low.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. I like the vanilla trick.
Okay.
Turn the light on in the oven and put a drop of vanilla on it,
Yes,
and it will scent your home.
that's a great idea.
Yeah. Or the baked bread. If they've
Yes.
got a one of those bread makers, if you got a bread maker, just bake some bread. It's like people walk in and go, oh, I've arrived.
Yes,
It's amazing how our sense of smell can affect our mood and our really our well-being.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So number 3 is the kitchen. Kitchens sell homes.
Really?
So to make that kitchen the focal point, you want to make sure that there's plenty of counter space. As much as you can show off, you show off. So
Okay.
small appliances like toasters and coffee makers. And
So after you make the toast, you got to put the
you gotta
toaster
put
away?
it away. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. And so just making that counter space, because what do people want in a kitchen? They want space
Okay.
and working space. Yeah.
So you got to clean it, I guess.
Clean it. Yes.
No dishes.
No dishes. Not hidden in the oven. Not, I
Because
mean,
believe it or not, some people open the oven.
They do.
Especially if it's included in the sale, the
Yeah.
appliances, they will open the doors of the appliances.
yes.
And if you got dirty dishes in your oven, it's not the best, huh?
No, not the best. I mean, if you have a few dirty dishes in the dishwasher and they've been rinsed out, not the end
Not
of
a
the
big
world.
deal, right?
No, no.
Okay. And
No.
polish the appliances, clean
Yeah,
stuff.
the large appliances like the fridge that you're leaving. Absolutely.
Take the stickers off of it and the children artwork and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clean it, streamline it. Same with the fridge interior. Make sure it's shiny. Stoves. People
It
look
doesn't
in
smell
stoves.
bad too, right? 'Cause
Doesn't.
sometimes the fridge can start to smell bad. Then it's time to throw out all this stuff and clean
Yeah.
it up. And if you're a green box person,
Yes.
like we do the green box, but sometimes it can smell pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, so if you're doing an open house, you might want to put that little sucker outside.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Put them
In
around the
garage
corner or
the-
something.
yeah.
Because even in the garage, that smell can come into the house if you've got something smelling bad in the green box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? I think windows are really important.
Yes.
They need to sparkle.
They do. As well as the trim around the windows.
Ah, so the little mold in the corner is not good.
Not good. Because as soon as people see anything like that with windows, they want a new window.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same thing with mold around the bathtub.
Yes. Yeah.
Excuse me. Not a great thing, right? So really preparing the house for an open house is like cleaning it like the in-laws were coming or something.
That's right. Or another showing or, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. And so what else are we going to do?
Well, as you mentioned, windows, that's for the entire house, especially near the front door,
That's a
the
lot
kitchen.
of work, Candace.
That is a lot of work.
Who usually gets stuck doing that?
Usually the homeowners. Depends on what family you're in, but if you're mine, then the kids as well as the parents.
Oh, kids help too?
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
They do. It's a family effort.
Okay.
And sometimes the cleaner comes in a little bit more often when you have your house up for sale.
And what do you clean your windows with?
You can clean them with a few different things, but mostly Windex or lemon water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinegar's good. Vinegar and water.
Yeah.
I find Windex, I like it, but my wife is allergic to the smell.
That's right.
So if I Windexed the windows and then she walked in, she would have a coughing fit. And so that wouldn't be good for her if she walked into an open house that had I don't know what's in Windex. It's like a bleach or whatever. There's a chemical in it that affects her.
Right.
And so vinegar does not. Or if you've ever seen Norwax, they got those funky cloths that you can clean just with water. You got a polishing cloth.
Yes. Yeah, because they have silver in it. Yeah, so clean windows. If you're going to do a lot of Windex and a lot of vinegar, I would suggest a couple hours before the open house, not right at the open house. Because even vinegar can be overpowering. Any chemical can as you're cleaning and coming into a home.
Yeah, I walked into a home the other day and it smelt a lot of bleach. Now, she must put bleach in her water for cleaning the floors and things. Squeaky clean house.
Yeah.
And the smell of bleach was a little overpowering when you walked in. You felt like you were walking into a pool.
Yes, I've experienced
pool?
that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not the best.
No.
All right, so what about personal items? A lot of people say for an open house, I shouldn't have my personal stuff out.
I would absolutely agree. That's number 4. So personal items, whether it be photos, and those usually come down as well for showings and when you're getting your house ready to list. So photos of people in your family or pets of your family, anything personal, whether it's a diploma, things that give a personal touch. We want.
Yeah, I've noticed when there's a diploma up, people read it.
They
to
do.
See who, like the buyers coming in, they read it to see who the homeowner is.
Yeah, and what they are like and try and figure them out instead of figuring the home out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're busy seeing how that person lives in it as opposed to how they would live in it.
Absolutely.
Right, okay. So things like pets.
Yes.
Pets shouldn't be home.
No. Nor, if you can help it, their belongings, whether it be a dog bed, a cat bed, a litter box, anything, a toy for an animal. Anything that has animal traces, I find as a buyer walks in, they start searching for that animal smell.
Because they saw a cue for it.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Interesting.
And so they're wondering what the defects are of the home due to animals, especially if they don't have animals themselves.
Okay.
So if we can clear those cues away, that's the best thing. It adds a little bit more work, but it's the best.
Right. Yeah. And take that litter box with you. Put Kitty in the car and put the litter box in the trunk.
Yes. Because I also find when buyers come in, they try and get to know the pets, especially cats. If they're in, they spend their time interacting with the cat or worrying about the cat leaving the front door and escaping and having to run after a cat. That's always fun. I've had to do it a few times. We really want them to take their time in the house and worry about the house, not the people and the animals in the house.
Right. And then there's things like trinkets and jewelry and watches and
valuables.
Yeah. And prescription drugs.
Yes.
People don't think about, right?
That's right.
They may have prescription drugs for whatever reason, and they're sitting normally in their medicine cabinet or in a drawer or sometimes sitting out on a kitchen counter or whatever.
Yeah.
And those things are easily snatched.
They can be, especially if someone's looking for those. So typical buyers going through an open house would look through the kitchen cupboards. They look through the pantry. Not, sorting through the food, but they definitely open the cupboards.
They're not looking what's going to be for dinner?
No. But they are opening those cupboards. They're opening closets and they're opening pantry and medicine cabinets if they're included with the house.
Because they want to see the size and what they can put in there, right?
Yeah.
Again,
absolutely.
they're visualizing their stuff in those cabinets.
Yeah. I mean, if they're in dresser drawers, well, then absolutely those are off limits. Those are great places to put your things of value, and not in the things that are included with the house.
Okay. Yeah, and even still, I think I might lock some of that stuff up.
Yeah.
Because if someone's unscrupulous and they're looking for an opportunity for you to be distracted with another family or something, and they can, go through a drawer or something and look for a valuable, some people are there to try and steal something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true.
Yeah, and I mean, we do take their names down and their phone numbers. However, there has been some times where they're not normal phone numbers or working phone numbers.
Or it says Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, yeah, aliases. Yeah, so it's just, unfortunately, we're not security guards and policemen, and we can't monitor it as well as.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what's number 5?
Number
I'm so
5.
excited for number 5. Is number 5 like the biggest best or what?
It can be, for sure. Okay. I believe number 5, if you don't have it and you do all the other things, then it's kind of pointless. So
all the other stuff we talked about is pointless without number 5?
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, turn on your ears, turn up your hearing aids, and listen closely.
So it's marketing your home.
Ah.
You need that open house to be marketed well. Otherwise, you may not have anybody in that open house.
Oh, so nobody shows up.
Absolutely.
That's frustrating.
It could be for a seller, absolutely. And it's not so much fun for the realtor sitting there by themselves either, reading a book. Yeah, it's only worthwhile if people come.
Okay, so what are some of the ways that the Dekker team markets their home? And now we don't do everything for everyone.
Right.
It depends on the location, the situation, but we do an assortment of different things. What types of things do we do for open houses?
So for all of them, I'll start with the one thing that we do for all of them is we do internet exposure.
Okay.
A lot of internet
that's important.
Exposure, yeah.
So people are finding out about it ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
Through the internet. Okay.
Yeah. And so that would be on free sites as well as real estate sites. So your free sites would be like Kijiji, Use Ottawa, those things. Local sites, and then the big broad picture would be all the real estate sites, but marketing to buyers that are ready to buy. Right.
So the realestate.ca, the realtor.ca site. And okay, so we're going to market internet-wise.
And then we're also going to do signs. We're going to do signs. And
so we're going to put out one sign?
No, we're going to put out a whole bunch of signs at the big intersections and how to get into or to the house.
Okay.
And that doesn't happen at 5 minutes before the open house. That happens in the morning. So people driving by all day. We're only able to do it in the morning.
So we'll put out anywhere between 5 and 10 signs, depending on how many corners to get into a property from a major artery, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. And then anything else we can do to attract attention to a home?
Yeah, so we do put up the sign topper beforehand earlier in the week, so people driving by that house will know it's coming up.
And the sign topper just says when the open house is going to occur?
Yes, what day and what time.
All right.
And the fun thing we do is we put up flags.
Okay, we can
on
put
the
up
lawn.
flags.
And it waves like open house, agent on duty, and grabs people's attention.
So it kind of looks like a model home with the flags out front of it?
That's right.
So people can say, hey, this is something for sale?
Yes.
I think car dealerships do that too.
Car
they put up the
dealerships
little
do it,
flags, the little banners that float at the top on a string, and suddenly people go, oh, there's a car dealership.
Yeah. Restaurants do it. Subway does it.
Oh, yeah. Some of them have those floating men with the arms.
Yes.
But those freak some people out.
True.
Yeah. And then sometimes we're going to knock on doors even.
Yeah.
Around the open house, inviting neighbors who might be renting or neighbors that might want another family member or coworker to live near them. So we're going to get the word out that way.
Yeah, and
Because sometimes word of mouth is how you sell a house.
absolutely. And the people living in that neighborhood love the neighborhood, or they wouldn't be living there. So they are going to be your biggest advocates for
great.
others that are thinking about the area. And we also call into the neighborhood around the street as well if we're not door knocking.
Okay, cool. So we've got a couple properties to talk about
We
today.
do.
We have 3 that are very, very affordable.
Yes.
Affordable homes.
Affordable homes,
Okay.
either for your first-time buyer, for your downsizer, for your retiree,
Okay.
or you're starting out.
So we have a lovely condominium.
Yeah.
We have a couple condominiums.
We do.
And 1 modular home.
Yes,
All right.
Yeah.
So you have one in the West End, I think it is?
I do. Yep, right by the Queensway Hospital.
Oh, very close. Okay.
Yeah, close to lots of amenities and transit. So that's great. It's a 1-bedroom condo.
Okay.
And it's on the top floor, which is lovely.
Like
Great
a penthouse.
view. A penthouse.
For how much?
On the 12th floor for $159,900.
Wow, for
Yeah.
like under 160,
Yes,
you're going to buy a penthouse,
you're going to buy a penthouse with a
1-bedroom
great
condo
view
with a great
Yeah.
view on the 12th floor.
on the 12th floor, and
Wow.
it doesn't have carpet. It has engineered hardwood throughout, just done this year, and lovely window sills that you could just sit and stare out.
That's cool. Well, I've got one on London Terrace, 275,000. It's a 2-bedroom, what we call a stack home. So there's one home is below and one home is above. This is the lower unit. So you walk in on the main floor where your kitchen and all that is. So that's great. So you carry your groceries in on the main floor. And the bedrooms are in the lower area. But they have big windows because it's built up out of the ground quite a bit. That's 275, has hardwood floors, nice dark wood cabinets. Really a great place and
Low maintenance. For
low
both of
maintenance.
them.
And
Yeah.
London Terrace is in Manor Park area, so great neighborhood.
And the last one is in the Modular Park area, just south of the city. And it is at a very affordable rate at $150,000. It's a 2-bedroom. And the nice thing about this is it's owned land.
So you own the land underneath it. You're not renting the land. It's
You're not
leased.
renting the land. So you have $50 worth of fees for your area, for snow removal, that sort of thing.
Septic and
well. And then $50 a month for taxes. So $100 and that's it for condo
why
fees.
pay rent at
Yeah.
$150,000? That's awesome. So we want to thank you for joining us on the Inside Track on Real Estate with the Dekker Team.
Yes.
And we welcome your calls, 613-860-4663.